What is going on, YouTubeverse? John Stanek from Johnny Radio here, bringing you another Viva La Vinyl classic album review, and it doesn't get any more classic than this, folks. The 1971 masterpiece, Blue, by Joni Mitchell. Such a beautiful record. I'm just going to go ahead and say I give this a 10 out of 10, an A+. It is in good company with all these records behind me. It is just perfection, and let me tell you why. It is essentially a folk singer-songwriter album. Very simplistic, very light instrumentation, just acoustic guitars, piano, often not in the same song even. Only certain songs have very light bass and percussion. It's really Joni's voice that's on full display here, and even more so, her soul that she just bears for all to see. This is such a vulnerable record, just so transparent the way she writes these songs. The lyrics, I mean, her voice, of course, is so angelic. No one else sounds like Joni, and that's what we're drawn into. But the lyrics are what you stay for. And just from the opening song, All I Want, it's just, you have this upbeat, uplifting, kind of bright acoustic guitar, which I believe was performed by James Taylor. And then those vocals come in where she says, I am on a lonely road and I'm traveling. And it's just, you're in for the adventure. And she was such an adventurous woman. This is her fourth studio album. By this point, she had already cemented herself as an amazing artist with the song Both Sides Now, as well as Big Yellow Taxi. She had, performed at Woodstock. So she was already just an amazing artist, but this just took it to all new heights where she just really, as I said, it's so vulnerable. She had James Taylor, who I mentioned performs on this album on several songs. She had gone through a romance with him, broken up with him. Gone through a romance with Graham Nash from Crosby, Stills and Nash, broke up with him as well. All within a 2-year span. And all of the romance plus all of the heartbreak is all wrapped into this record in various points. All I Want, the opener, is the uplifting romantic song where she's saying, I want to renew you. I want to shampoo you. It actually has some really cute moments to the song, but where it really gets to me is where at the end of the song she says, I want to make you feel free. And isn't that like the ultimate, when she sings that, man, it's like you feel that, like, yes, that's what I want my love interest to feel for me. Like, you want that other person to feel free with you. It's so beautiful. And that's just the opening track. Then it goes into My Old Man, which is a kind of upbeat piano ballad talking about the romance that she had supposedly with Graham Nash, this song. She's talking about my old man. He's a singer in the park. He's a dancer in the dark. And you have this imagery where you can actually picture these things. And then also on the chorus, it gets a little sad. When he goes away, she says, the bed's too big and the frying pan's too wide. And it's really cute, but it's really devastating when you think about it. Even with the quirky way she sings it, that high-pitched falsetto, we don't need no piece of paper from the city hall. I can't do any justice to it, of course, but it's like on first listen, you're like, what is this? It's so different. But then the more times you hear it, it just becomes like, yeah, this is just human and so, man, it goes deeper than that. The song after that, Little Green, she's talking about, and it's thinly veiled in the lyrics, but she's actually talking about her giving her daughter up for adoption when she was 20 years old, which is just such a devastating story, but the story does have a happy ending. Many years later, she was reunited with her daughter, who she named Kelly, aka Little Green, so it makes sense. And then, the lyrics kind of give it away where she says, child with a child pretending. I mean, just so deep, and I can only imagine how she felt as a young and poor at the time. That's why she felt that, she couldn't be a mother at the time. But man, that's just 3 songs in. And then you get some more upbeat songs like Carrie and California that have that adventurous spirit. Carrie, of course, she's traveling to the Greek islands and having a good time. And then just until her skin turns brown and she comes home to California on the next song, which is a really fun, upbeat song. But again, you just get that feeling towards the end of the song where she says, "Will you take me as I am, strung out on another man?" I mean, how transparent can you get where you're saying, putting your feelings out there for the world to see and admitting you may have a problem here with guys or, going from one relationship to the next. And that's just the first half of the record. Every song on here, if I were to do a top 5 Joni Mitchell songs, probably every song would be from this record, because side B has some classic songs like Case of You, which is just so romantic, where she says, "I could drink a case of you." Then you have the such a sad but beautiful piano ballad, The River, which starts out with kind of a minor take on Jingle Bells, and then she says, "I wish I had a river that I could skate away on," which I think everyone can relate to that feeling, whether it's relationship or whatever. If you feel stuck somewhere and you want to escape, it's just such an amazing song, similar to Blue on side 1 that ends off side A of this record. It's kind of the thematic, I don't want to say it's the theme of this record because it's so sad, but it's just so hard on your sleeve, just her and the piano. And she says at the end of the song, "This is my song, or your song from me." She's obviously writing to whoever her love interest was at that time. And it's just, oh man, heartbreaking. The end of this album, equally so. The Last Time I Saw Richard, which goes a little bit in the future, where she's in a bar and she sees her love interest again, who she's named Richard for the song, and sees where he's ended up. And it's really, this album takes you on a journey. No matter how many times I listen to it, it's like every time I hear something new in the lyrics. Also, I hear something new in the music, which is really profound considering just how little music is on this album. I mean, maybe This Flight Tonight has the most. It has like a slide guitar and maybe a few more acoustic guitars on it, but it's just so simplified, and that's, I think, what is the best thing about this album. It's really just Joni at her core, just putting herself out there. This is what I am, and I love that it's not overproduced. I love that it's acoustic and just tells her story, and it's just a moment in time. And of course, she went on to do so many other great things as well. She just recently turned 75 years old, had a huge birthday celebration with so many other artists kind of celebrating her and honoring her, and rightfully so. But to me, I think Blue was the pinnacle of what she achieved as an artist. I don't think it gets any better than this from the aspect of a singer-songwriter record, a breakup album, multiple breakups in one record. Just amazing. And thank you, Joni Mitchell, for such an amazing experience. Again, I give this an A+. It is so good. So if you haven't heard this record yet, what are you waiting for? Go on Spotify, whatever, YouTube, however you listen to music, and just listen to this as a whole, as it's meant to be, a full record experience. You will not go wrong. So thank you so much. Let me know in the comments below what you think of Blue, and let me know in the comments below also just what you think of Joni Mitchell in general. Such an amazing artist and such a great spirit. So thank you guys so much, and as always, Viva La Vinyl. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, all that jazz. Check out some of my other content that you can see on the screen now. Thank you again for supporting Joni Radio. Take care, and I'll see you soon.